wishing you all who are present here and my elders regards from our side. I'm wondering why I am standing here today. But then I would like to give you a small incident that happened in my life. In 2020, October, I got COVID. And I was incarcerated for 15 days. And when I was sitting in that room, I kept reading all these books on business management. Because I was wondering, and when I read them, at the end of it, I thought, now I am going to become an entrepreneur. And then I went to the We Hub as soon as I'm done with it in January. And I said, now I want to become an entrepreneur. You know what she said? Madam, you're already an entrepreneur. Why is it that you want to become an entrepreneur? First, you get your thing into an auto mode and then go to something else that you want to do. So, dear friends, I'm here today to learn from you as much as I've come here to share my little experience with you all. Now, when I finished my MD in 1988, my father was running a nursing home, Chaitanya Nursing Home in Amirpet. On 25th of May, I finished my MD, and on 1st of June, I was sitting in the hospital. I did not have any mentorship. I did not have any training to go for any leadership. So it took me a whole of 11 years to put myself into this work on a day-to-day basis, learn what I stand for, and learn what is the type of practice I want to do. And then, you know, at every point I said, what am I doing with my life? All my friends are in the US. What am I doing? But then I took a sabbatical. That's what we all need to do if you are starting. You need to take a sabbatical. I took a sabbatical of 5 weeks, went off to the US. I was alone with myself, and then came up with this idea, yes, I want to start a nursing home, a hospital, a mid-range hospital. I didn't want to go into the corporate setup. It's going into a mid-range hospital that would cater to the middle class and give them the best of treatment. And so what I did was I put in my tan, man, dan, everything into it. And see, it took me 11 years to understand what I stand for and what I wanted to do. But the youngsters of today are much luckier because you have mentors who have treaded this path, who have gone through, who have walked this path and have now given you this mentorship or whatever it is that at that time, let me tell you, I was always thinking I should be like this madam, A, B, or C. I was always trying to emulate, try to mimic somebody, try to be somebody. And just now what Dr. Sir Ram Reddy had told just now, it was like I was trying to be somebody else. And then I also went through, read a lot of books. Some of these sayings are from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, The Power of Now, The Power of Positive Thinking. And these things changed my life. In fact, when I was constructing the JJ hospital, and the supervisor there, in 2 years' time, he said at the end of 2 years, Madam, you're such a different person from the time you started till the end. Because that was the time when I was going through this transformation within myself. And then we got this act together. So it is important that we have to be surrounded by positive people. And that is the time I got this click in my mind saying, you don't have to imitate anyone. You have your ideas. You are unique. You always be a better version of yourself. And that is the thing that helped me to do what I have done all my life, and I suppose gave me this chance to stand here before you. And, okay, that is just one point. Okay, 2 minutes. I will have some more things to say. And when I got into this, at this point of time, as we all know, it is a commitment. When you get into something, I was literally thrown to the, did not know. I learned everything the hard, every aspect of business management, I learned the hard way. And when I joined, it was not breaking even. Within a matter of 6 months, I got it to break even. And then we started improving whatever we had to. And so I always remember one of my auditor who said, it is something that you have to keep reinventing yourself. You cannot be static. If you have a cycle and then you are static, your cycle will lose the balance. You will fall this way or that way. So you need to be constantly pedaling to keep the balance. So that's what he said. And you have to keep reinventing. So we started introducing the various forms of the various treatment. It may be scan, it may be laparoscope, going into advanced laparoscopy. But everything that we had, we earned, we put it back into our hospital. And then the next step of doing was mentorship. So then we got people who started coming and meeting us. So we said, okay, why not do it? So we went into spiritual birthing and into natural birthing. And today I am very proud to stand before you and say, we are partnering the Sanctum, which is one of its kind, where you have a collaborative model between the gynecologist and a midwife, and we have a success rate of normal deliveries of 90% and above. So this was a model which was emulated by others, and this is the only one which is existing right now in the country. So this is where you see an opportunity and you believe your heart and you listen to your mind. Perhaps you need both. The heart and the mind has to be in a good collaboration with each other. Because if it's only mind, this I remember what my grandfather told me. You should always have a contingency plan. You are jumping into something, but then you need to have a contingency plan. So when there was a big strike when I was doing MBBS, and then I said, oh, will I become a doctor? That was the time I learned driving. So I said, okay, no problem. If I don't become a driver, I'll become a female chauffeur. I don't see any female chauffeurs around. So that is the way you need to think. Okay, what else? When I finished and I started my practice and I started in a new place, new name and everything and new surroundings, I said, okay, what will happen? Oh, hey. What will happen? I still have my degree. I still can go and ask any corporate I can join anyway. So I want to be on your own because my own and my temperament as I am fiercely independent in my thinking. So I thought I have to be on my own. So this was one thing that I wanted to say. And another thing is when we select something in business, it has to be sustainable. So you have to make sure what is the thing that is in your practice that is going to make it self-sustainable. So for that, you need to have the right people. You have to be surrounded by the right people. In fact, when I was seeing all those slides, the 3 points and the 10 points, I said, it is so apt. It is so apt for everybody. And it has to be scalable. You have to go to the next level. And so you go on doing what you're doing. And the last thing which I found very difficult and we need to manage on a day-to-day basis is the staff. You have two aspects of this staff. One aspect as you do, you hire them, you train them, and then you lose them. They go on to greener pastures, and that is where we are all facing this attrition of these staff. And the second one, you hire them, you find they are not efficient, and it's such a difficult task to fire them. So these are the two things that I found very difficult, and then we need to address it upfront, and we need to have everything in writing. So that is the reason when I went to some of the organizations, I meet the staff and ask them, You have been working with them for such a long period. What is it that is making you tick? What is it that is making you stay along with this organization? So they say only one thing. They make me feel that I am needed here. So my presence is very important. So I make my staff feel, yes, I need you, I trust you, and that is the reason, that is the biggest reward for anybody. It's not the monetary reward for me at least and for everybody. We need that, yes, to sustain, to scale up and all that. But the most important thing is to feel needed. The day I feel, yes, I'm not needed anymore, that's the day I will retire and sit in my house. So here, we all know nothing fails like success, so you have to keep working and working on it. I also have a few mantras for the people who are going into the health, or also perhaps it may be useful for everybody who is sitting here. We have I take these 5 A's, which I feel is very important for a doctor and for a practitioner. And for those 5 A's, first and foremost is the ability. You have to, during your training period, gather as much as skill as possible. My dad used to tell me that you have to know the job of every person, starting from the job of the person who is at the security till the person who is at the highest level. So you have to develop your ability and also your skills. And the second most important thing is availability. You may be having all the skills in the world, and you may be having all the beautiful, technologies with you, and what you can give to the society. But if you're not available, then everything goes to naught. And then you need to be affable. So it is that now people keep talking, oh, she has an attitude. So you need to be affable, like I always believe you need to connect to a person on a human to human level. And that is like you tear the map of India and tell a child to join it, and he's successful. Why? Because he's seen a picture of a human being behind it. So you have to have the humanity to your core. So you need to be affable. You have to be accountable. So you need to have that accountability and that transparency and ethics in whatever you do. And the last one is you keep it down to where it can be affordable to the type of people that you're going to. Thank you for your, thank you all for giving me this opportunity. And I hope to learn from you all. Thank you very much.